Hi guys, and welcome to my review of Mortal Kombat. So I guess a lot of people don't like this movie, and I guess some people find it a guilty pleasure. And for me, it's just a fun movie to watch, really. Mortal Kombat, yeah, and that the theme, like everybody loves the theme. Like if you don't like this movie, and you must at least like the theme. And I don't know if they've included it in the new movie, but man, that'd be cool if they have. Yeah, the dun 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 dun. Yeah, it's just so catchy, man. I love hearing that all the time. Yeah, even when there's a new Mortal Kombat game coming out, and we get a trailer, like people just always like put the theme on from the movie. Yeah, I mean that's probably the best thing that came out of this movie. And Santu San, like they definitely cast a good Santu San. It was good to see him again in Mortal Kombat 11, and he was also in the web series, I think, but season 2 of the web series, which I used to watch back in high school. I feel like I'd review that one day as well, but not anytime soon. Because this week I'm just reviewing this movie, the 1995 movie, and the new one that's came out, skipping Annihilation because that's a piece of crap, and you're better off watching Chris Stockman or someone like that for that movie, lol. Yeah, he's done the best to explain that movie and how trash it is. But yeah, to me, I just find this one just a lot of fun to watch, and you probably shouldn't take it too seriously. I mean, I just have a lot of fun when I put this on. So yeah, I mean, I've only watched it like I guess 3 times now because I watched it when I was a kid. I guess sometime when I was a teen, and I've watched it again as an adult. But yeah, let's get into the review. All right, so I'm just warning you guys. This is going to be spoilers, obviously, because it's a very old movie, and I'll warn you when I'm also talking about spoilers for the new movie as well, which I can't wait to watch that on Thursday because that's when I'm going to watch it and then probably review it afterwards. Yeah, and right now I'm also playing Mortal Kombat 9, my favorite Mortal Kombat game. So yeah, just well, I guess I'll be doing premieres of that. So yeah, if you can, just look out for it. It's okay if you can't catch it, but yeah, I'm just gonna have fun playing that game again. Yeah. All right. So yeah, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Yep. So basically, Santu San's like close to conquering, you know, our world, and basically, if he wins one more tournament, he'll basically be able to conquer the world. And I guess Santu San will be able to let his master, invade our world, Earth realm, which is it's called in the Mortal Kombat universe. Instead of Earth, it's Earth realm. I mean, it's still basically Earth in it, but yeah. But his master, Shao Kahn will be able to evade the world if we lose again. And he's basically, I guess, going around the world in Earth realm to recruit the people that he's going to defeat to then be able to take over the world. And the people who he recruits are Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, and I guess our main hero Liu Kang. Even though for a lot of the time it feels like Johnny Cage is the main hero, which is kind of weird. I kind of noticed that this time around. Yeah, because I mean the other times I watched it, it's like they're making it clear that Liu Kang is the main character. But watching it now as an adult and actually paying a lot of attention to the movie, because the other times I watched it, I was kind of like doing other things at the same time while watching it. But this is the first time I've actually proper watched a movie without doing anything else, like actually paid attention to the movie. So yeah, yeah. So it just feels weird to notice some things I didn't really notice before. But yeah, so basically, to draw out these characters, he basically kills, I guess, Liu Kang's brother, Chan, and basically he wants to get revenge, and that's why he comes to the tournament. For Johnny Cage, his master says that if he goes, like this could open up a good opportunity for him because Johnny Cage is like a famous movie star just like he is in the games, and I guess in like his master saying that this could actually truly show like what is actually made of, because a lot of people think that the stunts that he does in his movies are fake, but they're mostly real. So yeah. And then Sonya Blade, like basically her partner gets killed by Kano, if you know him from the games, obviously. So she basically wants revenge as well, and I guess Santo-san says that he can help her get that revenge. Well, basically, Kano just lures Sonya Blade onto the ship where the tournament's going to be. So yeah, that's how that goes, and that's what gets our 3 main characters there, because there is some other ones, but they're not really main characters. They're just people who are also in a tournament. Yep. I mean, we do have characters like Sub Zero, Scorpion, Reptile, but man, the way how to do Reptile. Yeah. And Gowo, which, is still cool, but he's more like animatronic though. But still cool to have him. But yeah. It's still cool to have those characters as well. But man, just the way how to do Reptile for most of the movie. I mean, in his fight scene, like it's pretty cool, but most of the movie, like they literally just make him a reptile, camouflaging and just spying on the combatants. Yeah, it's just the CGI, man. It's so bad. All right, so I feel like the thing that I think I'll just talk about the thing that I mainly like the least about this movie, and that's Raiden. All right, so when we get back to the place where Liu Kang was before, that I guess he'd call his home. I guess Master Raiden comes up and says that he needs to fulfill his destiny. Well, to Liu Kang, that's what Raiden says, and I guess Liu Kang's just not really believing that he's Raiden, so he doesn't really listen to him until he kind of shows his power. Yeah, and then I guess he tells him about Shantu-san and all that, and what's gonna happen if Earthworm loses, and I guess that's what he tells everyone. So that's why, well, Liu Kang, he's mainly focused on revenge than saving the world. And yeah, I'm not like we're watching this movie now. I'm not really a big fan of this Liu Kang. He feels like a jerk, and isn't it supposed to be Johnny Cage who's the jerk and just very immature? I mean, he's still a bit immature in this movie, but I actually respect Johnny Cage in this movie a lot now. And it's just Liu Kang. I just don't like him that much because he's just so driven by revenge, and he just acts a bit jerky. Like basically, there's a scene where Johnny Cage wants him to, you know, put his suitcases in on the ship, where the tournament's going to be, and he does pay him as well. So he's not being a full, you know, jerk about it because trying making a random person be your servant, that's bad. But at least he's still paying him. But then what Liu Kang does is that he basically takes the money, but then he just throws his suitcase in the water. Which, wow. Just his attitude towards Johnny Cage, even though he's not being that much of an jerk, it just makes Liu Kang look more the jerk instead. That's kind of weird. Yeah. So in this movie, I don't really like Liu Kang a lot, but it's not terrible. As for Raiden, though, yeah, he's really cringy, and just the deep voice that he does, like, it's just a bit too much. And then his random laughs when he's doing like a serious speech, like when he's explaining stuff to people, like basically it's going to be dire consequences if they lose, and then he just does a laugh afterwards, like like what the hell is that? It's just so random, man. Yeah. So yeah, Raiden's definitely the weakest Finn in this movie. I mean, other than that, I guess the CGI for Reptile. I mean, I don't hate this movie like other people do. It's not that bad compared to Annihilation, which Jesus, I never want to watch that. Like fully. I was never been able to fully watch that movie. No way. That movie's a disgrace. It's like they should have stopped after this movie, really. I mean, this movie was kind of a success anyway, so I mean, it did make a lot of money. The second one, I have no idea, because I know this one made like 122 million, something like that. And yeah, the sequel, man, that was just a flop, and we haven't really had a movie since until the recent one that's come out. I mean, we got that web series, but yeah, I really like that web series. I can't wait to watch that again because I never got to watch all of season 2. I only watched like 1 or 2 episodes. Season 1 I've watched many, many times. Yeah, I love that web series. Probably my favorite web series on YouTube. I wish all of it was still there though. Like only season 1's online, and I just can't find season 2 anyway. It's like it's all been deleted by IGN or something. Yeah. I think people have tried to re-upload it, but yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna move on because I'm supposed to be talking about the movie. Yeah, just look at this. Like, what the hell? Why did they even bother? Because they basically do cast a human as Reptile. A human. That's a weird way to say it, but I just don't understand why they needed to do this. I mean, they could have just used the guy in the suit for the whole movie, which because we do get a fight scene when Liu Kang's fighting Reptile, but as a human instead of a CGI Reptile, which at the time they couldn't really do great CGI. I mean, if they did this like now, probably look, good, but back then they couldn't really do that much with CGI. I mean, if it was like Avatar, wait, Avatar, what am I talking about? Avatar times, like probably. I mean, sometime after Avatar, like they probably could do it pretty well, but back then, sure, I don't know why they tried. At least it did try, but Jesus, just look at it, man. It's just when you actually see it moving, it just looks ridiculous. Yeah, that's how my pillow is invisible most of the movie, so we didn't have to look at this. And imagine Liu Kang fighting this instead of like the human, which that's like the second best fight scene for me, which I'll get to that. But I guess I'm going to talk about you know some more of the story plots. All right, so I'm just going to talk about the only parts that Sonya Blade really gets, where she actually has a story, because basically, like I said, she's here to get revenge on her partner because Kano was the one who killed her, and Santo-san basically wants, I guess, Sonya. I mean, I guess Sonya's importance to Santo-san was that he was going to be the one to kill Sonya so that he could get an easy win, because compared to Santo-san's strength, Sonya wasn't that strong, and she probably wouldn't win. I mean, if Johnny Cage fought Santo-san, I'm still not sure if he'd win. Liu Kang, well, we'll get to that anyway. But yeah. Because if you've watched the movie before, then you know how things go. But yeah. I guess Sonya Blade wouldn't have won if she fought Santo-san because of how strong he is, but yeah. Because she's able to, defeat Kano, and because when she's fighting Kano, she is able to defeat Kano. But yeah, she just executes, Kano. Just like that. Nice and simple, and gets revenge on her partner. Even though, like, I think there's someone else who she cares about, like Carl or something, who gets killed by Goro, which I guess I'll talk about Goro now. So yeah, Goro, he was definitely not done that bad, really. I mean, since it's animatronic, like, it's not gonna look perfect. Because if they did Goro now, like, it'd look so awesome. I can't remember everyone who's in the new movie. I know that they've got Melina this time, which is going to be cool, but she doesn't really have like her proper teeth. But I'm still looking forward to seeing Melina. But yeah, I just can't remember if Goro's in the new one. I don't think he is, but yeah, because I still want to see Goro again in live action, but done much better, because I know they could do it much better. I mean, because we don't really get to see all of his arms move all the time. Like, it's always like the upper arms basically, for obvious reasons. Yeah. Though, Go was a bit brutal though. I mean, we did get some cool stuff from him, my man. But because yeah, he was the champion. He was like Santo-san's best fighter, and he was the one who basically got most of the wins for him. But I guess when he fought Johnny Cage, that's when he loses after Carl died, because I guess he wanted to avenge Carl, because Sonya and Johnny kind of get mad that he dies, I guess. And then I guess Johnny Cage fights him, and when he's fighting him, he does that low blow, and I guess that kind of hurts Johnny Cage's hand, and it takes a bit of time for Goa to recover from that low blow, the nut shot, yeah, the classic nut shot from the games, yeah. And then I guess he runs away to this area where he can make Goa fall down to his death, which is a nice fatality for Goa. But yeah, I did like. Yeah, Goal was decent in this movie. Yeah, he was decent, but I'd love to see better in the future. I don't even know if he is in the new movie, but I really hope he is. Probably not. Alright, so as for Scorpion, I guess he was pretty cool, even though I guess some. Well, nah, I'm not gonna say that, because Sub Zero, he was a bit lame. I mean, I'll talk about him afterwards, but yeah. Scorpion, I guess he had the best parts for me. I mean, the first part of the fight, when I guess Scorpion's fighting Johnny Cage. I mean, it's not brilliant, but he's just saying his classic lines: "Get over here, come here," with his weird monster hand. I don't even know what to call that, because it's not. It doesn't feel the same how it is in the games. It's just like some spear that he uses to grab opponents and then pull them over. But in the movie, they decided to make it, be alive, like it's some kind of creature. And I guess he kills it. Johnny Cage kills it. Like, he finds a way to kill it, and then, he has to fight him with his, fist. but then he kind of takes him to the place where Scorpion will be the most powerful, like in hell or whatever I should call the place. But you people who are Mortal Kombat fans know what to call it. But yeah, that's where he fights Johnny Cage, and it seems like Scorpion gets a lot of blows on him, but Johnny Cage is still doing pretty good for the most part as well. And yeah, it gets to a point where Johnny Cage, starts to get the best of him and actually defeats Scorpion, which is just crazy to think about. Like being able to fight Scorpion and defeat him just like that. Like from that moment, I was just like, Johnny Cage is the best. Screw Liu Kang. Because when, oh yeah, Katana. I guess I should talk about Katana before the Sub-Zero and Liu Kang fight. So Katana, who's I guess 10,000 years old, lol. I guess she's the one who I guess assists Liu Kang, and without her, would Liu Kang have lost? Now that I'm thinking, like, it seems like Johnny Cage was actually the best hope for mankind in this movie. For Earthrealm, I should say, but yeah. Because without Katana, like, what would Liu Kang do? Like, in that moment when he's fighting Sub-Zero and he's kind of making this huge, ice energy, it seems like he would have got killed in that moment, like, without Katana's, advice. Because she kind of helps him. Well, she does help, Earthrealm win. I just wonder why she wanted Earthrealm to win anyway. To get a win over her father. Because, she probably despises her father as well in this universe. Because she's the same way in, the games. But yeah. They don't really give her a full motivation in this movie because, yeah, she doesn't really get a lot of screen time anyway. It's just like she's there to help Liu Kang, the main character, win, and that's it. Because she does fight Liu Kang, but I guess, did their fight even count? I don't even know when she was fighting Liu Kang, because she was basically like giving advice to Liu Kang while they were fighting. And I guess that fight didn't count. So that was kind of weird. I bet afterwards, like, Shao Kahn was like, "You stupid girl, I'm disowning you. You made us lose and not take over Earthrealm," because, in the end, Liu Kang defeats Shantu-san, and basically, she kind of helped a lot. And the Sub-Zero fight, like I said, it was probably like the weakest fight because all that, Liu Kang has to do is just basically throw water at him, and then some of that water turns into ice and it goes through Sub-Zero. If that makes any sense. Yeah. And then that's what defeats him. Pretty lame. But yeah, the Reptile fight is probably like Liu Kang's best fight in the movie for me, definitely. Because the last fight, like, he was mainly fighting these people that Shanto-san summoned, and then and then they finally actually fight at the end, which is not really a long fight for them, because he just summoned a lot of people for Liu Kang to fight basically, and since that's a part of his abilities, I guess that counts as fair. But yeah, the Reptile fight, like, that's when you can actually see Liu Kang's skill, and when he's doing that, kick from the game, like that iconic kick. Yeah, definitely got to see some good stuff from Liu Kang in this fight, and because we actually see Reptile as a human this time and not some weird lizard CGI thing. Yeah, and then when he defeats him, I guess bugs come out of him and stuff like that. When I guess Liu Kang crushes him to death. Okay, so when it looks like Shanto-san's about to lose the tournament, I guess he takes Sonya Blade since that was part of his plan, and he basically wants to challenge her to Mortal Kombat, but she refuses. And then that's when Johnny Cage and Liu Kang and Katana come to rescue her, because I think Katana like kind of help. I don't know if like she's the one who helps him or Raiden to get to the place where Santo-san is. And then that's when Liu Kang challenges. Well, because Santo-san wanted to fight Johnny Cage because he's the one who actually got most of the wins. So yeah, but Liu Kang is the one who wants to fight Santo-san because he knows he's the one who killed his brother Chan. So yeah, the final fight begins. So yeah, in the final fight, Santo-san kind of summons some of his people to fight Liu Kang. Liu Kang just mops the floor with him and then fights Santo-san. It then gets to the point where he's going to finish off, I guess, Santo-san, and falls to his death into the spikes. Flawless victory. That's what Liu Kang says anyway. Because like we do see, Liu Kang, basically hesitate because he gets a bit confused when he sees his brother when Santo-san morphs into his brother, but then he's not tricked by it, and that's when he just defeats Santo-san in his final move, which we got to see like a bit of what his true potential when he defeats him in his final move. I'm not really sure if it was a bit of fire when he did that final move, but yeah, because we don't really see Lucan at his strongest in this movie, to me anyway. Yeah, and Raiden wasn't really that great of a teacher. I mean, he says that I've taught you everything I know. I mean, I taught you everything that I can teach you, but then that kind of shows how rubbish Raiden really was, because he doesn't even learn his fire moves or anything, or the dragon move. So yeah, pretty lame for Raiden, man. He's just there to tell him what's going on, laugh, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah, Raiden's pretty lame in this movie. But yeah, I guess that's how it ends for Shantuson. So yeah, that's everything that happens in the movie. I mean, in the last scene, they kind of teased that there's going to be a sequel. With Shao Kahn, which actually does exist, Annihilation, which is an awful movie, and how could they mess up that bad? I mean, the first one, not a lot of people even liked it anyway, and then they just make a much worse sequel. I mean, to me, this is not a bad movie, and I think a lot of people these days don't think it's that bad. Even though there's still a lot of people out there who don't like the first one, but the second one, like, everyone can agree that that movie sucks. Yeah, it's just atrocious, man. It's an insult to the franchise, really. Yeah. But yeah, I still like the first one, and I could see myself watching this again. Yeah, it's a classic. And just hearing the theme, like, a few times in the movie, I just love to hear it all the time. Mortal Kombat! Yeah, I love that. In some of the fight scenes. But yeah, that's my review of Mortal Kombat 1995. I can't wait to watch the new movie. I really hope it doesn't let me down like Annihilation bad, but I don't think it'll be that bad, even if it's an average movie. I'm just hoping I still like it, but who knows? Maybe it could be better than this movie. I mean, what would I even rate this movie? That's kind of hard. It's between like a 6.8 and a 7.2, so somewhere between there. Right now, I guess I'd say 6.8, yeah. Because it's not like a flawless movie or anything. It's like a movie that you can just watch, but it's not really like a movie where you want a really good story or something. It's just like, if you're just looking for some quick movie and you just want to have fun watching the movie, maybe, I don't know, have a drink while watching it, I don't know, something like that, or just something to watch with your friends. I don't know, this is a good time movie basically. I mean, because if you want a serious movie, then yeah, it's not one of them. But yeah, I guess that's my review of Mortal Kombat 1995. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.